Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to Building a Roguelike in C. It's Peter. And let's get started. Hey Billy T, how's it going? Alright, so step one. I have already created a Git repository. And I'm going to jump into... Let's put this up on the screen. Terminal here. Alright, so I just have basic, I've got my README markdown file, which will display on the Git page, and some Git attributes that helps configure the server for Git and all that. So let's start it. Let's get started. Alright, so tonight what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and get the basic project files together and just get a simple project building. So this project's going to use SDL so that SDL handles cross-platform compatibility well, and I just, you know, this is going to be a basic roguelike. I don't want to deal with a lot of cross-platform stuff. So SDL will give you that pretty much out of the box. And yeah, so we'll get started building the basic project files. Let's start with a basic C file. See what we've got going here. Alright, so SDL, if you're not familiar with it, I'll show you my browser here. Where is my browser? Hold on. Still learning this OBS stuff. It's pretty great stuff, but okay, there we go. So this is the Git repo right here. The link is also above my little window here. But let's go to, let's see. This is what we want. Loop.sdl.org. So this is SDL. We're going to be working with SDL2. SDL 1.2 is pretty much deprecated at this point. There are still some games that were built, you know, when they were under development, they were using 1.2 and it's too onerous to convert, but we're going to go with 2. I've already downloaded the Windows files here. Get a zip file and then just unzip them. So let's, where do I have those? Let's see, put those. Okay. copy. I will show you. Apologize for not doing this right. Not showing this window. I'm just in my Explorer. I'll show you. All right. So I just basically copied. That's actually not correct. Let's do STL2. Underneath STL2, I've got include and lib, which is, these are just straight out of the zip file. And you can see that here's all my header files for STL. And then the binary library files are in the lib directory. Exit 6. So STL2. There's two here. There's an STL2 and then .lib and then STL2 main.lib, and I'll go into the difference between those in a little bit when we need them. Okay. So let's start. We're just going to do a basic first we're going to need to let's see. Our STL header file. This kind of brings in all the other. Now I'm just going to, there's a couple of steps that STL basically defines to set up their environment. So the first one of these is STL init, the video. So and then there's a create window, which is obviously going to create our gaming window. And there's a bunch of parameters here. So the first one is the name that you want to appear in the title bar. So I'm gonna call this Roguelike Dark Caverns. Seems pretty generic. And then you can define the window position if you want it to open in a specific spot on the screen, but I don't care, so I'm just gonna say because the reality is we're going to be eventually this will be a full screen, so it'll just take up the entire screen. We won't need to specify window coordinates. Okay, let's do it in we need a width and a height for our window originally, and we're not doing a full speed to full screen to start, so I'll just do 1280 by 768. That seems like a reasonable. And last parameter. By the way, let me just show you. SDL has some good documentation here. So you can support, you can do API by name, by category. So, for example, category, initialization and shutdown. These are the steps that we're going to need to follow. So I already did SDL on it. There's window management. That's it. So this is what we're working on right now. Create window. So we did the title, width, height, and then flags. Flags is the last parameter. We are going to ignore this last parameter for the time being. This is where we would specify full screen, which we'll do eventually. But all right, so next step is to define a renderer. We're gonna give it our window so it renders into the window. Specify what type of rendering you'd like to do. For now, we're gonna do software rendering. We'll figure out. Let's just get rid of this window time being. I'm still trying to learn this, key bindings for Sublime Text in Windows because I'm used to using a Mac. And so what is it like? Control. Alt-Shift 1. Okay, Alt-Shift. Shift 1, Alt-Shift 2. Got it. And we're going to define a texture to render into. Because we're doing software rendering, this is basically going to represent the pixels on the screen. We hand it the renderer that we just created, and we specify our pixel formats. So I would like to use pixel. We're going to use RGBA, and we're going to use a RGBA 8888, which basically says each pixel is 32 bits, 8 bits for red, 8 bits for green, 8 bits for blue, and 8 bits for an alpha. And then You know what? I'm going to use this screen size again, so let's just define let's do a little bit more setup here.
Turn around, I can't see your face. Tell me, where did you go? Was it something I did, something I said that made it all fall down? Baby, I need to know, 'cause I'm losing my faith. And the more that I give, the less I get. So tell me we can save this. Where's my happy ending? Can't go on pretending anymore. We always said that love takes work. It's been a bumpy ride. I know how hard you tried, but holding on just makes it worse. It's best to walk away if it's our time.
Get something real quick.
Goodbye.
Let's do define some constants, because instead of typing I'm probably going to be messing around changing the screen width and height. See what's going to look best. Let's do 720p, so that's, yeah. I can type tonight.
It's been a bumpy ride. I know how hard you tried, but holding on just
So we're gonna
makes it worse.
set up some data types.
If it's our time to say goodbye.
Type defing these because it's I'd like to use the standard types like uint8 underscore t, but typing uint8 underscore t every time you just want an integer is a pain in the butt. So I like to redefine or type def these so that I can type the shorter name. I32. I think that'll be sufficient before we can use those types to include the standard for that, and then so on. Boolean like all right. Good. Forgot some steps with the renderer. Set some hints for the renderer. Start up. I apologize for that. Alright, so we've created our texture. Trying to read the docs here. Let's just set up a basic game loop here. Well, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's just start by getting a window on the screen. So let's call this dark. Okay. Dark.c. Yeah, and now we get nice syntax highlighting. I should have done that to begin with. All right, so we're going to init our environment, create a window. Should be. Oh, so next step though. Let's build. Let's just get it compiling and building. So I've installed Visual Studio 2015 Community Edition. It's free, from Microsoft, and comes with an IDE that I will use sparingly. Mainly, I'll use it for debugging because the debugger's better than some command line tools, or at least I know it better. But let's get this. Alright, so step one is to define some includes that we're going to need. Let's just put this into a batch file. So set up our includes. And the command line argument for that is /I. Have this over. Folder. it SDL2? It's in SDL include. Oh, it's just SDL include other. Alright, so step. So what we're going to do is compiler, call here's, this is just Windows batch programming, just to do a simple batch file that'll let us build everything. So I think what they include, and we'll just do called a dark C. Call this build. And see gets us. All right. So we did build. We got some warnings, but it looks like it built. However, we got a linker error because step one of the compiler is it compiles everything, and second step is the linker comes in and it links to any libraries that you're using. So we need to tell the linker where to find those libraries, and in this case it's looking for SDL main, so we need to link to the SDL libraries. Let me get back over to the batch file. So we'll do set, let's just call it libdir. And this will be, so the command line parameter is libpath. This time we're going to do x86. Because if you remember from before, there's x64 and x86 directories. With my particular computer, we're using the x86 libs. And then we also, so we need to set the lib path, and then we also need to say what libraries we're using. And so in this case, we're going to do sdl2.lib, and we also want sdl2 main.lib, and that's so the sdl2 main.lib is where that SDL_main that it was looking for is found. So I need to add. So step 2, link. The linker is going to come in, and it needs the directories. Let's be consistent. Let's go with twos. Because there could be. And then so the compiler compiles dark.c into a file in an object file called dark.obj. And so that's what the linker needs to work on. It does its operations on dark.obj. All right, I think we're okay. Let me bring up my terminal. Okay, so I think that the problem, there's one thing that I skipped that's Windows specific. And that is that there's a linker option that tells it to build for, it's called console apps, or basically like command line apps. So I'm going to set linker option, and the system, you have to specify that it's a console, if you're building this on a console. I think that'll do it. Let's see. Still can't find the SDL2 lib. Where is that file? Let's see. SDL2. So it's in SDL2/lib/x86, which sure that's what. Oh, it would help if I spelled my game right. Caverns. That's probably an issue. I didn't actually add my linker option. Okay, so just a Unix clear.
mysterious. Gust of iridescent breeze. Never seen the sky so starry. I can see the world so clearly. Didn't think that I'd uncover another world that's undiscovered. Now you've wandered into this place. Realize it's my secret space.
Ah, it's SDL2 lib. Come on now. It's the small things. Okay, so it can now open SDL2 lib, and the entry point must be defined. I think it's also looking for the DLL. Let's see. Just try. Entry point must be defined. Let's see, that one. There's some compiler options here. Let's turn on all warnings, and then there's an important one, /C, which tells the compiler that we only want to build an object file. So we only want to generate the dark.obj. I think what's happening, since I didn't specify that, is that it's trying to link before its time. Let's send those options in. Okay. Better. So now, because we turned on all the warnings, it's going to give us perhaps, see, I'm not going to worry about these warnings at this point. It's warning about SDL haptic, I'm not even going to use that, so. Let's turn off the warnings for now. Seem to be just burying the issue. SDL main, let's return it. So SDL main is actually returned. It's contained in this SDL2 main lib. So can't be. Just realized I'm not returning a value from. Okay, so that removed the return value issue, so now it's just the entry point. The linker needs an entry point. So, got my lib directory, that's right. What happens if we do that? Our options subsystem console not defined. I think that's the problem, because it's the subsystem console that's supposed to give it the main. That's telling it where the entry point is supposed to be. So did I screw up a... ops. Wait a minute. I screwed up because I had a colon instead of an equals. You know, sometimes you have to be exact when you're coding. Oh, look at that. All right, so now it's built and linked, and we have a dark.exe. Is anything going to... Okay. What just happened is she didn't see on the stream, but the window popped up and immediately closed, because if you see in the main, we're not actually doing anything to keep the program running. So the window pops up and then we return 0 and exit out of the program, and the window goes away. So let's fix that. Let's do, for now, we can just do the worst. We can just let the processor spin, which is not great. Let's see. So let's keep this looping. So let's just do while I guess what we can do, there's a There's an STL delay that we could just give it a just put it to sleep for 100. I think it's milliseconds. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I was coding in Java today, so that'll mess with your head. You're getting cut off, huh? Is the video cutting out, or is it... having technical difficulties?
The moon behind skies overcast. I must have been here some point in the past. Familiar shapes and sounds at last. The smoke and lights, the crowds and
Try refreshing. Sometimes with the, I've noticed with the, especially the Flash player in the browser, if they're using Flash instead of the HTML, it can be a bit flaky. Sorry about that. Alright, so built it. Let's try. Okay, so let me throw this up here. Go to my OBS so you guys can see this. So we have boom. Okay, so that's our, looks a little bit odd, but basically it's spinning. So kill that because it's just sitting there pegging the CPU, which is not the best thing to do, but we did get our window on the screen, so things are working. Move on. Top screen. Alright, so our batch file is working and building. So let's do something interesting now. Let's create a renderer. Build a proper loop. Alright, so we're building a software renderer. And we're going to set the logical size to our screen width and screen height. And then we can define a screen, a texture that is basically representing our screen in memory, our pixels. And this texture access streaming, if I remember correctly, this flag indicates that the contents are going to be changing a lot. It's kind of a hint to SDL how to optimize. So let's handle our loop a little bit better. So we'll do. Oh, I guess we do want this One thing I forgot to do, once we fall out of this loop, we're going to want to clean things up. So we're going to want to destroy renderer. And then destroy our window. And then we shut down SDL so it can clean up the environment. So what do we want to do in our loop? We can handle events that we get from SDL. So the first thing we need to do is declare a variable to hold to get those events, hold them. Going to, let's see, pull for some events. Hand out our structure. We're just going to grab all of the events that are in the event queue and process them. So in this case, we're just going to look for a specific one. And the one that we're interested in initially is SDL quit, which is it's the event that's sent with on Windows if somebody hits Alt F4, or Mac if you hit Command Q. In this case, we're going to set done equal to true because we're out of here, and then we'll break out of our while loop as well. Break out of the inner while loop to be more specific. So once we've handled the events, let's draw. Let's just say define this function in a second. And that'll be so. Let's pass it over. What do I keep hitting that's doing insert? Alright, so what we're going to do first, basically we're going to update our texture, and then we're going to copy that texture into the renderer and tell it to render. That's basically the steps. So it'll be SDL, there's a update texture, and then we call here to clear the screen, SDL copy. Okay, and so we'll fill in the parameters in a minute. These are basically you update the texture, tell the render to clear itself, you copy the updated texture into the renderer, and then you present the render on the screen. If you go to the SDL docs and the SDL wiki, it explains these different steps. So we're going to update the texture. We need our pixels, which we'll define in a minute. And then our run, which is going to be our screen times the sum. Alright, so now we need to define the pixels. Pixels are going to be, we said that the format we're using is RGBA 8888, so basically each pixel is 32 bits wide. That's the pixel format that we specified down here for creating our texture. So we're going to need to define that. You can still have a technical, still getting cut off. All right. So basically we want I'm going to need to alloc that in. So let me to zero them out, so we're going to use Colallic instead of malloc, which doesn't zero out the memory. It just gives you a chunk of memory that's uninitialized. And so Colallic takes the size and then doing so we screen width times screen height of unsigned 32-bit integers. And so then it should give us a, if it initializes everything to 0, it should give us a black screen. So we'll see. I shall term.
I always seem to make the same mistakes. Too quick to fall, too fast to push away.
SDL quit undefined. Oh, I think I used that constant.
Made me feel so safe, so safe. Slow down, don't forget me now. I don't wanna fade out of your memory, your memory. Hold up, I know I
staring right at it. It's not a SQL quit.
but I want to fade back.
It's different.
Your memory, your memory, your memory.
All right. Oops. It's autocomplete. All right, let me pop this up. So I just ran it. Can't see that, but that looks kind of bad on stream, but it actually looks correct on the. Let me mess around with the settings. This is OBS that's messing this up. Let's try. It's probably not helping. I'll need to figure out how to make the game window actually show up. Does it actually look okay on stream? I can't tell. No, it's kind of chopped. That's weird. Okay, so we exited properly. Clicked on the X. That's weird. Sophia B, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Some fun building this roguelike for the next couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to wrap up coding for this evening. I think cross this off our list. We put together the basic project files and we got SDL initialized and at least displaying a blank screen. So we can both of them. Let's see, what video bitrate am I using? That's a good question. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, the video bitrate. It's 2500. Is that too high?
Weird in the chestnut of your eyes. I noticed that twinkle of a firefly.
Alright, so we ticked off these 2 boxes. We got the basic project files. We set up SDL. We got a basic build batch file going. Next stream, we're gonna play with debugging, and then just to make sure that I mentioned using Visual Studio 2015. Just want to make sure that I can connect with VS 2015. Also, I don't think I have GDB on this Windows box, but we'll look into possibly using a command line debugger as well. Lower the bitrate to 1564. Okay, I will do that for the next stream. Thank you for support, and I'm gonna end the stream now. Thanks for watching this evening. Archives will be up on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter to get notified when I'm going to be streaming again, and you can also follow to get stream notifications. So, thanks and good night.